Welcome everybody to another episode of the Have Nots podcast. I'm at Bobby F. J. Town, and joining us once again, our co-host Wheels. How's it going, Wheels? Hello.
Not had that many feels this week. I mean, yes, we did have somewhat feels, but I'm not like still kind of tearing up like last week's episode.
Yeah, yeah,
Woo.
yeah. In case you didn't know, Derek's grandfather passed away this week, and we were supposed to mention on Twitter this weekend. I got busy, and I didn't really tweet that much with the account this week, other than tonight's episode. So, send our condolences to Derek and his family. And yeah. So, what do you think of tonight's episode?
Tonight's episode, with me being a live feeder and everything, it was basically I'm getting to laugh at some of the stuff that everybody else didn't get to see, and I'm sitting there going, wow. All I gotta say is Zach is. In the beginning, I thought I wouldn't like Zach. He isn't personified. He is. It's just like I just hope he. I don't want him to win, but he's entertainment for me on
Yeah,
the
yeah.
feeds.
I go back and forth with him. I like him one moment, and then I don't like him the other moment. I
Yeah, yeah,
He's like he's playing the game like or like Devin was at the beginning, which I don't like. But he is
right.
funny. He's entertaining. He brings something to the show that hasn't been there since probably Dr. Will. I know we compare him to Dr. Will a lot, but you know, him and Cody are like Chilton too, I think. Or not Cody.
Yeah,
Yeah, Cody.
I
Yeah,
have to agree with that one. Yeah,
yeah.
I
So
mean, the best describes Zach. He's kind of like a Chihuahua off its leash. You
yeah,
need to
pretty
like
much.
hold it every once in a while just to make sure it calms down, and then once it lets go, it's like, oh God, what happened?
Him and Frankie too. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
they're best buddies.
Oh, Frankie. Oh, I'm sorry. I have to say Zach has to be by because I know he wants to play a game, but there is too much in that.
Too much gameplay. All right.
Yeah. Woo.
Anything else that went on this week that on the live feeds that you want to talk about that was interesting?
Um, you mentioned like the whole Derek grandfather thing passing away. It was
Mm.
just like me and you finished off our podcast last week, and just like the next night, I'm sitting there watching the feeds, and all of a sudden I'm like, so many fish, so many fish. I'm sitting there going,
Mm.
what did I pay for? A fishing show or Big Brother? And I'm finding out why they had the fish so much, and I'm like,
Oh wow.
not again. And Nicole said it perfectly. She's like, things happen in threes. I forget. I don't know if it was Caleb or one of the guys said it. They're like, I think we're all afraid to hear this person go to the diary room now
Yeah, exactly. Like after two
because
like that. Jeez.
yeah,
How
back to
long?
back, and I'm like, oh wow.
Like they didn't show. I know they didn't show it on the live feeds. But how long did it take? Like when he went away for a while. How long did it take him to come back? Like were
Uh,
you watching then?
yeah, I was watching the feeds all night. So, and like I said, it was a lot of fish, and a lot of the fish we're also dealing with because Frankie can. The bad thing about people with Broadway dancers, they can't stop singing. But
Please stop singing.
it's,
Do they yell at him
I'd
every once
rather
in a
hear
while?
that than see the fish so much. I'm like, my God, Frankie, shut up. I was just waiting to hear her voice go over. Frankie, if you sing one more time, I swear to God, we're coming in the house and we're taping your mouth shut.
Jeez.
But during all that, and it was just like they finally came back, and you saw everybody once again all in the living room sitting there, and I'm like, oh no, not again. And then I was reading the live chat beside the feeds, and I'm like, oh man. And even the people in the chat were like, this is sad. This is the most cursed season
Yeah.
of Big Brother for everybody. And I'm like sitting there going, okay, who else in the house has a grandfather or anybody that
Yeah. I don't
is like,
remember anything like this happening like two times like this. I don't recall if there was anybody that lost a loved one that they got to leave and come back or anything like that. I don't remember that off
Yeah.
the top of my head, but just like,
Yeah, I mean, the most thing I think we've ever seen is like somebody getting ill and they had to
yeah, yeah,
kill the feeds for like come in, or I think one of the house guests even mentioned they're like the one time they remember the only time the feeds going down was 9/11. Had to
yeah.
tell the house guests what happened.
Well,
So
who was the girl that fainted the one time? Went into she had like seizures. I
yeah,
can't
that
remember. It
was it was season, I think it was
was only a
eight,
couple seasons ago.
season 8 or 9.
Yeah,
Yeah, and because because it was I think Nokomis was in that
yeah,
group
yeah.
with them and stuff. So it had to been like really close. And the one had a seizure, the other one had a diabetic like
Hmm.
emergency. So it was like back to back. They both needed
Oh
care
wow.
that
Yeah.
same night. So since then, nothing's happened until now.
Wow. Sorry,
So
we're gonna talk about something a little more positive here. Even though they didn't complete their challenge this week, Team America, do you think it was smart for them to not do the challenge this week? I think it was.
I think it was very smart. And like I've said it before, the live feeds. I saw Derek talk to Frankie. I saw him go get, saw him go wake up poor Donnie out of a sound sleep,
That
and
was funny too, because he
poor
scared the
Donnie.
crap out of Donnie.
Oh.
All you see is like
He's like, oh my God, what?
this little bump like in the fire
Poor
bed.
Donnie.
Best thing about this season is the fire beds, by the way.
And yeah, and Derek even said during live feeds, he's like, dude, I felt so bad waking you up, Donnie. He's like, I am so sorry. People were walking in, and of course they had to act like and totally different thing, and people were like, why is Donnie up? Oh, DR was calling him. I had to go wake him up. I thought he's gonna punch me. I scared him so bad, and I'm sitting there dying laughing.
Uh,
And Donnie sat there. He heard the mission. He went into the room, into DR, to find out the full details and everything. He came out. He's like, honestly, this was. Oh, I forgot the other scanner. Duh. Oh
well,
well, whatever. That one doesn't talk that much.
that's your
But
diary room call.
that's my
We,
diary room, folks.
Wheels,
That's
please
my
stop
life.
singing.
Exactly. Wheels, please stop scanning. But you hear Donnie say basically that, yeah, he was ready for this until they had to sit there and accuse people. And Donnie, if you people know Donnie,
Yeah,
he's a
Donnie.
mild-mannered
Yep,
guy.
yep.
He could not sit there. I mean, myself, honestly, I could go, all right, yeah, Zach, you did do that, didn't you? You dingus. And I
hmm
could do that. Bobby, I don't know. Could you have done that task?
I don't know. It would be hard to do. But then the other thing about it was Frankie would have had no blame because he was head of household. He couldn't vote. You know,
Yeah.
I mean,
This one was a tough task.
he gets off scot free again. So
Yeah, this was a tough task that, oh, of course he wanted to go for it, and
hmm yeah, he had nothing to
Derek
do.
wanted
Nothing
to
to
until he
lose.
realized, yeah, he had nothing to lose. Derek,
Yeah.
poor guy's like, oh, we could do this. Oh, wait a minute, Donnie, you have a good point. This blows up our games. And
Eh,
people will start thinking, hey, these three are doing something together.
Yeah.
So,
Another thing I noticed about this season, every vote so far almost has been unanimous.
yes,
That's
yes.
like, and it hasn't happened like that in a long time. You
Yeah, I was
know,
going to say,
there's
last
been
year
a
it
couple
wasn't as
splits and
bad.
stuff, but like every vote this year, it's kind of getting repetitive and a little bit boring. But I mean, it's still exciting. It's like still
Yeah,
an exciting season, but you know, like somebody's gonna get because the House is voting together, which I just
yeah.
wish somebody would throw a wrench in it and they'd vote separately, but like have two major factions break off here, but everybody's just going with what the detonators want, pretty much. So we shall see.
Now, see, this that I think honestly with that is where I think you might see a split is only if Jacosta's up there
hmm
again with Donnie having to vote with
Yeah.
somebody against somebody else because
Yeah.
Donnie has a love for Jocasta, and it's that's the only time I could see it. But also I could see Donnie going, well, I don't want them to kick me out of the house,
Yeah.
so I'll vote with them.
Yep. Exactly.
So
Right.
it's gameplay. You don't know how you're gonna hit it.
Can we talk about how creepy Caleb is?
Oh my God, we can.
I
Julie asked the question perfectly, and I'm glad she asked a question from the fans. Is it normal that you wear bunny slippers and a scarf on your head, Caleb? My, ooh, whew.
he was
I
he
don't
was,
pick on anybody on. Yeah.
he was running around.
I don't.
He looked like the assassin from Assassin's Creed with that hoodie on.
Yes, that's what I was trying to remember what he looked like. He
I
looked
was
like.
waiting for him to start doing parkour all over the house to find Amber. You know.
Yeah. I mean, it's bad enough, as you and I talked right before this,
Uh-huh.
how creepy it is. I'm going to sit there holding my hands together, staring out of a tinted doorway, watching her creepily,
Yeah,
and
and
scaring the hell out of your own housemate.
that was the funniest part of the episode tonight was Derek getting scared. Like, besides him scaring Donnie, Derek got a taste of his own medicine, was scared by Caleb at the door there.
Yes. Oh my good.
But yeah,
I have never seen any house guests that creepy.
yeah, I can't remember anybody. If anybody can, send us a message on Twitter at I have not podcast, or leave a message on our YouTube here on the comments.
Yeah. Yes, please
I
do.
have not. I don't remember anybody being that creepy. So
I mean, I remember last year, no, the year before, goofy and awkward, but that wasn't
yeah,
creepy. Caleb
yes,
is creepy.
stalkerish. I'm sure there were other like house guests that were kind of
Yeah,
stalkerish.
that
Rachel was borderline stalkerish with
not that I know of this bad.
yeah, well she got her man, but like don't come between me and my man.
Yeah,
But like they were
yeah,
actually
Gina Marie.
showmates.
There's a difference between her
Yeah.
and Caleb.
Yeah.
Oh, whew.
Oh yeah,
I'd
Gina
take
Marie last
10,000
year
Gina
too.
Marie's
Yeah.
over one Caleb.
Yeah, she wasn't as bad. She was a little stalkerish, but Nick got kicked out after like the second week. So, all right. Do you have any predictions for the head of household competition that's going on right now? Actually, if it's still going on, I don't know if they might have concluded it.
Oh, let's see. Well, I'm looking right now on my tweets,
There might be a spoiler
and the
share
live feeds are back
if you don't
on.
want to know. Oh, the
I
live
will.
feeds are back on.
Yeah, yeah, the live feeds are back on. Everybody's walking around, and doesn't look like anybody's stressed, so might be a good thing. But then again,
Well, if they're walking around, they're
let's
probably
see.
done then. I would think.
Yeah, they're done with the competition, so
Nobody
trying
has
to
a
see who
bathrobe
has
on.
a key on their neck.
Nobody has a
Let's
bathrobe on
see.
already.
Let's see. A Paddington Bear, as I call Hayden, with that hat on his head, is just normal walking.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah. Well, of
I'm
course.
hoping Nicole won. I think she was.
Yeah. I'd love to see Nicole win.
I just don't want
Uh, well, let's see. Looking at his face right now off the live feeds, he doesn't look happy.
to. Okay.
He has those little rosy red cheeks like freaking LB's big boy.
Hey.
And he's
that's-
drinking a beer. So,
Hmm.
I don't know.
Wow. All right.
That's weird.
So we can
Fiction-wise
get
for me.
can get to our best and worst players of the week. Who was your worst player of the week this week?
Best player of the week, I have to
Okay.
give it
You can start
to.
with best.
I'm going to go with Frankie for being best because
Okay.
with even his grandfather passing, he kicked it into high gear and he woke up and entertained and thought out every move.
hmm
Worst player has to go to Caleb
Okay.
for being dumb enough to fall for their trap and agreeing to put up Amber and kicking her out of the house.
Mhm.
How about you, Bobby?
I'm gonna agree with your decision on Frankie being the best player of the week. He's playing a solid game right now. I was talking to my dad tonight, and he's playing like a perfect game. He was head of household. He didn't get any blood on his hands this week. He's deflecting the blame to other players. It's brilliant how he's playing.
Exactly.
Worst player of the week this week. I'm gonna have to go with Zach. He's just all over the place like Devin was, and even though he won the head of household competition last week, his two that he nominated, he lost Battle of the Block, and after that still thought he was kind of in charge of everything, and he wasn't. And granted, his person did go up on the block that he wanted on there, but he kind of made a mess of everything this week for everybody else. And he just caused chaos. I mean, maybe that's part of his strategy, I guess, but I don't know. All right, next week is a double eviction episode, so it's going to be an awkward week for the Big Brother house. Two people will be eliminated on next Thursday night, and you can listen to us talk about it after it happens right here. Do you have any thoughts about what you think is going to happen next week?
Well, honestly, like I said, live feeds are back on, but I don't know who's head of households and stuff like that. So I'm gonna go. I'm hoping
I got
in
two
a way
shots.
Caleb is not. Yeah, hopefully.
Two shots to get
Caleb
out.
is not. Yeah. You have two chances to get Caleb. Hopefully, turn enough household, please. Do the backdoor thing because if you put him up automatically, the man is a beast in. Okay, that's a lie. He is not a beast in competitions. I agree with Frankie and Zach. The guy won one comp.
He thinks he's the king of the house, and he hasn't showed me anything yet. He just now that Amber's out of the house, I think he might focus on the game a little bit better. But I won't believe it until I see it. So. All right, do you have anything you want to plug?
Like I said.
Good.
Let's see. Next week, thank you, Bobby. I'm glad you said this. Okay. Next week, double evict. But guess who will not be in the have-nots chat room with his? For I will be working a wrestling show, first time ever on a Thursday night, Bobby.
Oh wow! So we may have to.
May have to
postpone.
Maybe have another co-host.
Yeah, or we could do that too. I'll let it up to you. We'll talk about it later then.
I will not be here, but believe me, I will have my thoughts after I get home from this. So,
awesome.
I have nothing to plug, but I will be working a wrestling show for RWA on Thursday and Saturday of next week. So.
Cool. What's your Twitter so everybody can follow you?
You want me on my Twitters? Follow me, Hot Wheels, with a Z, RWA, on the Twitters. That's at Hot Wheels, RWA, on the Twitters. Follow me there. If not, follow me on the Have Nots podcast also. Yep. Bobby,
and
tell them where they can find you.
I am at Bobby F. J-Town. You can follow me on Twitter. And our podcast is at Have Nots Podcast. You can follow that as well. And for Wheels and myself, that'll do it for us this week. Stay off the slop. Bye, everybody.